Hello everyone, happy Thursday. It's time for your Thursday at 3 Facebook Live. This is Darlene from darlenestampandspot.com and today is May 16th, 2019. And let's see, there's lights going on right now. We're in the middle of, or we're actually getting ready to transition from our current annual catalog to our new annual catalog. So there's a lot going on with that. There's things that are retiring and they're selling fast. Once they're gone, they're gone. Stamp sets are only guaranteed to be available through the 24th, which is next Friday. And after that, it's while supplies last. And Stampin' Up! Is able to do that with the stamp sets because we make our own stamps up in Utah, in Kanab, Utah, where the factory is. And so that's how they're able to guarantee the stamps, you know, all the way through May 24th. Anything else, the big shot stuff, dies, embossing folders, embellishments, cardstock, paper, everything is all while supplies last. So you want to get it now rather than later so you don't miss out. And if you do want to place an order, this is my May host code up here, and you will you always get a handmade card from me as a thank you for choosing me as your demonstrator to order from. And with each $40 purchase, I send you a free embellishment when you use the host code. So there's another little fun thing about that. I've got some new lighting today, and I don't know, you guys will have to tell me what you think. If you're not here with me live, if you're watching the replay, please leave a comment and let me know how the light situation is. Okay, one minor adjustment here really quickly, and that should be it. Okay, fingers crossed it stays. Okay, so let me put this back because I want to show you this first. This is my next this is my next class. This class is next Thursday, the 23rd at 6 o'clock. And this is a 12 by 12 shadow box frame featuring Sheltering as a Tree stamp set, which has been around in the catalog for, well, I've been a demonstrator for 4 years, so it's been around at least since then. I don't know if it debuted the year I joined in 2015 or if it was the year before, but it's been in the catalog for a little while and it is going away. And so I wanted to have a chance to be able to share like a 4 seasons home decor piece for you guys. And I know it's really hard to get the entire thing in frame. Hey Cheryl, thanks for joining. But I do have pictures of this up on my blog, and there's also a Facebook event. And if you're interested in coming to this class, you can message me, and I can send you the link to register. So as always, my classes with the frame like this are $40, and everything is included that you need to make it. You're also going to be getting a pack of the adhesive backed sequins. And so yeah, so that's lots of fun. And if you want to do the class without the frame, you already have a frame, you're going to get your own, then the cost is $28. I talked a little bit last time about there's some prices going up and in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, so it's going to be costing me more, obviously, to get the supplies for you guys. So I will have a slight increase in some of my class fees, but I'll go over all of that once the new catalog is live on June 4th. And speaking of the catalog, if you don't have a copy of this and you're not already working with a demonstrator, let me know and I'd be happy to mail one of these out to you. It does not come with the binding here. I go to Office Depot and get this done, and I also add a clear protective sheet for the front and the back, and then of course I get it spiral bound. It's less than $5 to do it. And then throughout the year, like this one, let me see if I can show it to you, if I can get back there. Okay, so here's this current year annual catalog, and then it goes to, let me see, okay, here's actually the front. Back and forth, Darlene. Okay, so here's my clear protected sheet. You can see how much bigger the binding is. It's because I've added all of the catalogs for this annual catalog year. So this is Celebration from 2019 and the Occasions catalog. And so I just have them added to the front, and then I move my holiday catalog to the back right here. And then I have my annual catalog. And that way, if I ever wanted to reference back to a set or a stamp set or something to spark some ideas for me, I like to look back through my catalogs and kind of look at different layouts, or maybe it's a stamp that's carried over, but they were used different products, and you know, it's just something I like to do. Hi Joan, thanks for joining. So today I am featuring the Suite, Nature's Poem. Now, while this suite is not retiring, the bundle price is. So the first year that a bundle is in a catalog, it's the only year that it is bundled together. So both of these items are carrying over, the stamp set and the framelits, but after June 30, you will not be able to purchase them together and save 10%. And that is, and this is a big one, this is $72.75. It's got 16 stamps in it and 12 different dies, and these dies not only cut out, but they also emboss. But the reason that I'm featuring this is because we have a stamp set called Lovely as a Tree that's been in our catalog since 2001. So 18 years, and it's retiring. And so they did a little retirement thing all over Facebook on Monday, and then Stampin' Up! Issued as demonstrators a challenge to sell the Nature's Poem, Rooted in Nature stamp sets. The suites, the bundles, the whatevers. And so I thought I would run through some cards from this past year that I have made. Some of them were from a class, some are from a bingo event, some are in swap. So just different looks at some of the cards and some of the things that I've done with this stamp set. The suite also carries over to the page, to the next page, and you can see that we've got the Nature's Twine and the trinkets. Those are both carrying over as well. The cardstock pack is retiring, where you can get 8 sheets of each of 3 different colors. And then this beautiful designer series paper is retiring as well. And I've got just a little bit of it left. In fact, I only have, well, I actually have 3 full sheets of some of it. So let me see. So this is I love this pattern with a little stripe on the back. And then this is Mint Macaron, Cajun Craze. This was Tranquil Tide. Tranquil Tide is a color that is going away. It's an in color, and it has been around for almost 2 years, and we're going to be saying goodbye to it along with 4 other colors. This is Cajun Craze on the back of this one. Hi, Ada K. And some Grapefruit Grove. And then here's that leaf pattern again, but it's with the Blackberry Bliss and the Grapefruit Grove. Isn't that pretty? And then this one is just stunning with all of that Blackberry Bliss. It's beautiful. This is a little fern leaves and a nice little Mint Macaron leaf print on the back. And then again, this is the Blackberry Bliss, but this time it's with petal pink, and it's so pretty. This is one of my favorite pieces in that set of paper. So that paper is retiring, and as of this morning, I looked, and it's still available. So yeah, so let me get the catalog out of the way. And I'm going to bring in just a few samples to share with you guys. So this is one that I made. This is a little bit of a fancier card. It's got some, I had to hand cut out the little slice of wood, but then the leaves are all with die. So you can stamp them and then cut them out. And then here, I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up in the camera, but this Blackberry Bliss leaf. Can you see the texture in it? I want to say yes. I don't know. Now that a couple of you here, let me ask you, I said this in the very beginning, but I've got some new lighting, so I'm curious as to how it's coming across to you. There, now you can see it. So that is done with one of the dies, where it has just embossed the piece of paper, and then I turned around and ran it through again and cut it out with the leaf dye, the outline of it. Really pretty, fun thing about that set. And so here is a bit more of maybe a masculine card. I love the big sentiments that just kind of take over the front, and you don't need to do a whole lot to it. I've added some of that twine, and here's one of those leaf embellishments. Remember, those are both carrying over. This was one of my very first Facebook Lives that I demonstrated, and I've embossed this with the layered leaves folder, and it's carrying over. Again, and I've used the paper, and we've got Grapefruit Grove, Mint Macaron, and Soft Suede over here with that twine. The twine is pretty fun. It comes in 4 different colors. So it's Blackberry Bliss, Grapefruit Grove, Mint Macaron, and Crumb Cake. And so this is a technique that I demonstrated called hinge step stamping. So we've used the Stamparatus for this, and that was a lot of fun. That was one of my very first videos back in July when I first started doing Facebook Live. This was one that my team leader, I think this is from Candy. I think Candy made this card. She's used the pine wood planks here. That's a folder that's carrying over. She's stamped the trees behind here, and then just stamped one and cut it out with the dies. This pretty shaded spruce ribbon is retiring. It's a metallic ribbon. It comes in a combo pack with a bit thicker petal pink. I think it's petal pink ribbon. So it's a 2-pack. It's going away. Here is that beautiful piece with all that petal pink and those pretty Blackberry Bliss leaves. And again, even though this is not one of the sentiments, it's a big bold image that is just what you need for the front of your card. You don't have to add a whole lot. Again, the twine and the embellishment. This was one of our bingo cards that we did last year for bingo. And so is this one, I think we did this one, and then I don't remember what we did for bingo, but it was one of those two. Anyway, this was actually the sample that we got to make when we went to On Stage last year. So when we were in Fort Worth, this is how we got introduced to this suite of products. So that's really beautiful. Someone at Stampin' Up! Designed that. And then here's another that could be a little more on the masculine side. So you can really, this set is really versatile just depending on the colors that you use. And here I've added a button instead of one of the leaves, and I've just done a little knot right up there. So this ribbon back here, this crumb cake ribbon, is retiring. But yeah, so a really fun set. I love that paper. Lots of fun things that you can do. So here's just a quick look at the stamp set. Like I said, it's a double stamp set. It's red rubber. So right now this is actually one of the clear mount. Oh, thanks, Joan. This is one of the clear mount stamp sets. So it doesn't have those cling stickers on it. And since I use it so much, I just might replace that stamp set. I'm not going to replace all of them. There'd be no way into cling. Everything's either going to be cling or photopolymer next year. And then here's the 12 dies we were talking about. And this is that big one that cuts out that tree, which is really pretty. And then this is one of the dies that I was showing you that does that embossing. So you emboss it with this one, and it puts that texture on your cardstock, and then you take that one and you cut it out. So that's a lot of fun too. So, okay, let me put this away. Now, the card that I'm making for you guys today, I'm adding in a new stamp set that will be available June 4th. This was actually my prize patrol from On Stage last month in April when On Stage was here. So let me see. This is called Birch, and it is a cling stamp set. So that means it's red rubber. It's actually not in the case because I have it on the Stamparatus. But so this is a background stamp, so this is just one big stamp, and I love background stamps, and I was so excited that this is the free set that I won at On Stage. So let me put that away and bring in the card. This is the card that I'm making today. I've got my little matching envelope here. So there is the card. Let me pull over some supplies, let you look at that for a second. And let me see, we're going to be using, here's our color palette. So I've got Grapefruit Grove, Blackberry Bliss, and Soft Suede. I'm going to put those out here in front of me. I might as well go ahead and open them. I know that that one hasn't gotten much use. Some of these are harder to open. Just the more you use them, the easier they become. They don't really get looser because you don't want them to be, because then the ink pad will dry out. But I think it's just the you know, the sliding mechanism kind of just gets easier to slide back and forth. I have no idea where I was going with that. Okay, so that's our card. I'm going to put this off over here, and I think maybe you can still see it. And let me bring in our supplies. So I have Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and this is cut to 4 1/4 by 11, and I've already scored it at 5 1/2. So let me just fold that. Get my bone folder. Okay, give that a good crease. Now I've got, okay, here's my, oops, and all my pieces are falling out. There's my envelope. See if I can remember to stamp that. Okay, so this is crumb cake, and this is cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's a true quarter sheet of our 8 1/2 by 11 cardstock. And the reason that I did it this size is because I wanted to get the most of that background stamp that I could, and then I'm just going to come in and trim off just a tiny 1/4 of an inch on both sides, and that way I can kind of choose what piece that I want to kind of be down here, that you're going to be able to see the most. Let's see, I've got Whisper White. This is this the right one? Hang on, because I have two different pieces. Yeah, this is for the inside. So this is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have Whisper White. This is another one of those quarter sheets. I just keep these around to do for my stamping. We're going to be stamping the tree on there. And then these are just simple, they're just scraps that I'm going to use for my leaves, okay? So those really don't have any measurements. I've cut the largest stitch-shaped circle out of crumb cake, and this is part of that designer series paper. This piece is cut at 2 by 4, and this is 1 by 3, no, hang on. This is 2 by 4, and this is 1 by 3 3/4. Okay. Whew, I almost forgot. And then I'm also going to be using the Grapefruit Grove Nature's Twine. Okay, so like I said, I've got all my stuff set up here on the Stamparatus, not because it's necessary. You can stamp this entire set, including the birch that we're going to use. You can do that all with your clear blocks. I am not able to do blocks today, so I simply, just because I can't hold on to them. Okay, so bow tying is going to be pretty funny, I think. Let's see. Okay, so like I said, I have everything already set up, so I'm just going to start running through these. First, I'm going to bring in my crumb cake cardstock, and I know exactly where I need to place this, I think, because I want to make sure, actually, there it is. Yeah, I did draw a line. Okay. Okay, so I know that I need to place that right there. And let me pull in this stamp set here. And then I'm going to use soft suede, and I'm really just concentrating on the bottom half because I'm going to stamp my sentiment down at the bottom, and I actually don't think you guys can see that. So you don't really need to see ink pads, right? Let me scooch this up a little bit. Hey Jill, thanks for joining. Okay, I think that is a little better view for you guys, right? Okay. So, like I said, I am just wanting to stamp on the top of this piece because my sentiment is going to go down here. Okay, so I've inked that up with soft suede ink, and then I'm just going to press this down. I love this background set stamp. I guess it's not really a set if it's just one. So there we go, and now I'm going to have plenty of room for my sentiment, which is coming up. So I'm going to take off this plate. This is the part that I love about the Stamparatus. So I'm going to take that off because I'm going to clean it later. And I'm going to bring in my plate that has my sentiment on it. And what I did was, now I'm going to push this cardstock all the way up to the top, and I can use my magnet now. And this is going to come down and stamp right here. And I'm going to use soft suede ink again. So let me, I know you probably can't see me, all I'm doing is inking it up, and then I'm going to bring it down. I'm glad you did, Jill. Okay, now that's not quite as dark as I want it to be, so I'm going to ink it up again. When you're stamping onto colored cardstock, sometimes you need to do it twice, and I really didn't leave enough, I didn't leave it down there long enough to soak into the cardstock too, but okay, there we go, and I'm happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. I'm done with this piece. Now I need my tree, so I'm going to bring this back in. And I'm going to flip my plate over now, because now I have my tree ready to go, and I'm stamping it in soft suede as well. Okay, and then we'll bring that down, give it a good press, and there you go. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh, I love that image. I absolutely love that image. Okay, and then one more thing with the Stamparatus. Let me take this plate off. Actually, I'm going to leave it on because it's got two stamps on it that are inky. I'm going to bring in my inside piece for my card. And this time I'm just putting this right up in here in the corner because this is going to be pushed out. And we're going, did I do soft suede again? Yes, I did. This is one of those that you don't want to get it too inked up, because then you'll cover up the letters and it won't stamp right. Look how pretty that is. Okay, we are done with the soft suede, I'm pretty sure, but we've got a little bit more stamping to do. So I'm going to get the Stamparatus out of the way. Oh, I can clean that up when we're done. And let me see, let me just do, we've got the inside here. I might as well just do that, right? Let me see. I'm looking for a piece of scratch paper. I didn't get that ready. Okay, so I'm going to bring in these two. I've got Blackberry Bliss and Grapefruit Grove, and all I did was ink up. Let me see. Maybe I can move this back here now. Okay, there we go. Okay. And I just kind of came right in here in the corner just to kind of carry the front of the card to the inside of the card. And then this one I just stamped right like that. Okay, and then while I have these in my hand, we're going to stamp them 2 more times. Look, where's my envelope? Okay, so here's my envelope. And again, when you're stamping on your envelope, you want to keep it to the left-hand side. Don't let your stamping interfere with the address or your postage. Unless, of course, you're not mailing it, then you can stamp it wherever if you're hand delivering it. Okay, so that I'm done with my envelope, and now I've got one more time, because here is where I'm going to get my pieces, the rest of the pieces, to the front of my card. So look how pretty that is. I just love the detail in these. And then we're doing this one right here. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's all the stamping. So let me close these up before I have a disaster. I'm going to put those over there. And then I just wanted to show you how to stamp those with the Stamparatus, and then that you could also do them with blocks. And I was able to pull it off to get those 2 done. But what I already actually did was I already went to my Big Shot and cut everything else out, okay? Because I just knew I was going to struggle with that today. So I'm glad that I was able to at least get that part done. So I'm going to bring in our bits. Actually, let's cut first. Remember I told you we were going to cut down that our piece for the front of the card. So now I can kind of see, Oh, that didn't really stamp very well, did it? Oh no, that's just something on my card. Okay, so obviously I'm going to cut on this side, and I'm just trimming it down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. That's a standard first layer on your card. Okay, so that's it for that. Okay, and now let me see. I think we're ready to adhere. Okay, yeah, we're ready to assemble. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, see if I can't use my liquid glue. Yeah, nope, that's not going to work. I can't push. So I'm going to have to use, let me clean that up a little bit. I can't push on it, or you know what I mean, I can't squeeze it. So we're going to use snail. Typically, I love using the liquid glue, but for today, it's snail. I have done quite a bit of Big Shot work over the last several days and last week, and I think it's just finally caught up with me, and I'm having my arm issues again. So you just, you know, I just always try to figure out a different way to be able to do something. So here we go. I love that we have lots of choices. Okay, so get that good and pressed down. I think I should actually bring in my silicone mat because I'm not sure that my I'm not sure how straight I'm able to maneuver this, so I don't want it to get on my surface. So that's why I'm using the silicone. So we're just going to use some snail down here, and I'm going to put this one a little higher than halfway up, but I mean, you just do it to wherever you think looks good. And this is going to run the whole length of the grapefruit, I mean the crumb cake. This is Grapefruit Grove. And then this one's going to go about halfway on top of it and all the way to the right hand side. I hate to cover up all of that. There we go. That looks a little better, right? Okay, so now we've got that. Okay, and I think we're done with this, and I think we're done with that. Okay, so I'm going to bring in some dimensionals that I already have opened. Okay, I've got my circle, and I'm going to add some dimensionals. So this is gonna sit right here, but I want to be able to slide my leaves in up on the side, so I don't really want to put anything right there. So I'm going to come up and put it right there, and then try to remember to put that piece on the bottom left, little corner almost, and that's just going to kind of go right there. Okay. And so let's bring in our other pieces. Where did I put them? Okay, these are not getting dimensionals. This is getting dimensionals. So let's see, how many does this guy need? I think that's probably good. Okay, and then this is gonna go sort of in the middle of that circle, about there. And then I'm going to bring in glue dots for these guys. And I'm going to put this one down first, even though it's actually going to end up on top, because I want to see where I need to place this, and I'm just, you know, picking it up with glue dots, and it doesn't matter that that one is exposed because it's going to be underneath. So this one is going to go, I want it pretty visible, and before I really press down that glue dot, I'm just going to tuck this one underneath. Well, I thought I was. There it goes. Okay. Okay, and then that's all that I wanted that one for. It needs to actually go up just a smidge. I probably should have just ripped it off, the end of it. Okay, I think that looks okay. And then now let me just slide this one in, and yeah, and that looks good. I just kind of wanted that peeking out from the bottom, and then now I can, and then I think what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and put another dimensional in there. Let me go ahead and take off the backing first and grab my, take your pick tool, and I'm going to pick that up. Remember the adhesive is exposed already, and then I'm just going to slip that underneath there, and that kind of secures both of those little leaves down, and then gives the support that that stitch circle needed. So, okay. Let me see. Okay, so we're almost done. Did I not put in the inside? Oh, I almost forgot. Okay. It actually got smeared, so I'm going to redo it later. But this just goes inside right here. Okay, I'm not going to do mine because somehow I got it smeared. To redo it later. Okay, looking for, here we go. This is what I'm wanting. Grapefruit Grove, Nature's Twine. And this is going to end up being a pretty little bow. This Nature's Twine it's a lot thicker than our normal Baker's Twine. It's almost like we used to have a few colors of thick Baker's Twine. This has a different feel to it though, a different texture, but I mean it's similar, and I think that that's pretty good, right? Okay, so let me grab some ribbon scissors here, and I can adjust my tails in just a minute. Let me make sure that, yeah. Let's see, here we go with the glue dot, and then I'm going to pick that up. And my knot is smaller than my glue dot, so I'm just going to fold the part of the glue dot that's exposed. I'm just going to fold it back onto that knot and put that right there. And I don't know, I think it's kind of fun. I'm just taking this and holding onto the nut and then just running my fingers over this. You can kind of manipulate it to almost curl a little bit. And I think I'm just going to leave it like that. So let me bring in my envelope. And one last thing that I did, of course, because if you know me, you know I can't leave it well enough alone. I'm going to take Wink of Stella and just brush it over the tree. This one's actually almost empty, but it just needed a little sparkle and a little shine. And of course, if you wanted to give this to a guy, I think the Blackberry Bliss is appropriate, and just either omit the bow or just do a little knot and skip the Wink of Stella. So yeah, hey Francesca. So here's the card that I'm sharing today. Like I said, Stampin' Up! Has issued us demonstrators a challenge to sell the Rooted in Nature stamp set and or a bundle. And so I wanted to kind of just showcase that set today. The set is carrying over. The bundle price is not. So if you haven't gotten this set yet, you need it in your stamp room. It is so much fun. There are so many things that you can do with this. I was able to show you some of the different features just because I have swap cards and I have, you know, class cards and bingo cards and all of that. So I've used the heck out of it, and it's sticking around, and I'm super excited about that. So if you have any questions about any of the products that I used today, or anything going on with Stampin' Up! Or my class schedule, just message me here on Facebook, or you can email me, darlenestampinspot@gmail.com. And don't forget that, I don't think I told you the deadline for my Sheltering Tree class, so let me bring that back in here. This class is next Thursday the 23rd, and the deadline to sign up for this is Sunday night. So if you can register here, where you can mark you're going in the event here on Facebook, and then you can click the tickets link to get to the link to be able to register for this event. And if you have any troubles finding that or any of, you know, anything at all, just message me or email me, like I said. And I hope that I see you in class next week. All right, thank you so much, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.